Welcome back. Oyo State government has approved minimum wage of 80,000 naira for workers. The Commissioner for Information and Orientation, Prince Dotun Oyelade, in his statement, said the technical committee set up by government recommended and got approval from Governor Seyi Makinde for the implementation of the new salary scale. He said the new salary will be implemented as soon as consequential adjustment process was completed by the committee, which comprised government and labor top officials. He also recalled that only last month, a federal government agency, National Bureau of Statistics, that's the NBS, in its latest employment statistics, published for 2024, rated Oyo as the most worker-friendly state in southern Nigeria, owing to a significant decline in the state's unemployment rate, following a series of high-pitched employment of workers into sectors of the state. So the commissioner said the state paid its workers' salary on the 25th of every month since Governor Makinde came into office in 2019. He also said the governor started paying the previous 30,000 naira minimum wage from inception over 4 years ago, including consistent payments of pensions, gratuities, 13-month salary for workers and pensioners. He said that since November 2023, Governor Makinde had been paying 25,000 naira to workers and 15,000 naira to pensioners as a welfare wage award. That's a good one for Oyo State. Let's move on now to The Punch. Major headline: we were starved, locked up with criminals. This is according to minors. Police deny maltreatment as released protesters narrate 3-month ordeal behind bars. Marketers sue Dangote, insist on petrol imports. Banks free to trade with deposited FX. That's according to the CBN. Tinubu governors, CDs, others mourn Lagbaja. Now the picture story here: world leaders salute Trump as president-elect vows to end illegal migration. Oshe. Consumers protest as disco hike meter price by 28%. Lagos sanctions Julius Berger over engineer's death on site. Lagos Calabar Highway property owners reject 18 billion compensation. What stories do we have in The Punch?
Okay, so I have the major headline. The minors that were released on the order of the president have been taken to their various states. Some of the minors in Kano State were, taken to the Muhammad Buhari Specialist Hospital, where they were being checked, treated, and a team of medical experts from the states are looking into their health and their well-being. And then one of them was narrating. He says, "We saw hell, we suffered a lot." His name is Umar Ali. He said, "Sometimes we stayed 3 days without food. We were even if we were given food, it was never enough." He also denied his involvement in the protest. Said he was on his way to the market in Kwana Odu in Ngongo local government area of the state. He also says he does menial jobs to sustain himself. A lot of them had different accounts. For me, Kaduna State stood out because the 39 protesters from Kaduna State were reunited with their families, and the children were given 100,000 naira each, A18 model ITEL Android phones. The governor also promised to rehabilitate and empower the released members if they turn a new leaf. He also brought in religious leaders from Christian and Muslim to preach to them, to embrace teachings of their faith, to avoid bad company, so as to benefit from God's blessings. And I just felt it was rewarding a wrong thing. Giving them money for rehabilitation. For those of them, he said, for those of them who had trade or skill, they will be assisted to start a business. I can understand, but you see, we reward repentant terrorists. We rehabilitate them, then we reward protesters. And in the same voice, we call the religious leaders to tell them to stay away from bad gang and bad behavior. As in, we know that, they've done something wrong. You're not telling our citizens, if you do something wrong, we'll turn a blind eye, we'll just help you. So it's a way to get your attention. It's like rewarding a bad child to correct it. But the police insisted that they did nothing, they did not maltreat these minors. I like for the fact that in Maiduguri, 2 minors were taken to court for participating, joining the protest in what they called WhatsApp and TikTok, where they insisted they would take up arms against the state.
Oh.
Maiduguri is doing the right thing. They were tried in a juvenile court, held in a juvenile facility.
Yes.
That's because
how it should be.
They are minors and they did not belong where they should be at the right time.
Yeah.
They should be rewarded. I don't get, but Kaduna think they do better. They have given them 100,000. If you want to go and do bad thing.
Which other stories do we have? The Punch.
I have 3 oil marketers, AYM Shafa Limited, AA Rano Limited, and Matrix Petroleum Services Limited, have asked the Federal High Court in Abuja to dismiss a suit that was filed by Dangote Petroleum Refinery and Petrochemicals. So these marketers have a response to what... so Dangote had filed a suit saying that these marketers should not be allowed to import petroleum, only on the grounds of shortage in production. And that, so it was not just these marketers, it was also NMDPR, that's Nigeria Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority. So he's saying the only way that they're allowed to have other people import petroleum products is if he's not meeting the demands. And so these people, well, so these marketers and NMDPRA are talking, you know, they have filed their own and saying, see, first of all, you're unable to meet the demand. Production shows that you're unable to meet consumers' demand. And yeah, I think that was what it was basically about. Dangote is saying that NMDR is in violation of the Petroleum Act by, you know, giving other marketers the opportunity to import. These marketers are saying you cannot have a monopoly, especially in a case where you're not meeting demand. So as we know with big corporations like that, it will be long days in court and everything, so back and forth. But what really, I would like to know, what really is the agreement with Dangote? You know, and what is it that other marketers can do? Because I thought that they were able to just buy from Dangote, that they had enough or even excess to be able to buy from him, but it just seems like
he actually has enough to satisfy everybody. It's just
these marketers are saying
his pricing is not.
These marketers know more than us.
They say he doesn't have enough.
Yes, and they're saying that it's not.
Okay, let's move on. You have a story?
Yes, the Lagos State has sanctioned Julius Berger after an engineer died on site. The investigation into his death, he was operating a crane on site in Ijora when the contents fell on him and he died. Punch learned about it and Punch reported to, so I think we should commend Punch for that.
Yes, we should, and the Lagos State government. This one was not swept under the carpet.
Yeah, so they reported to the Lagos State Safety Commission, and they have taken it up, and they have sanctioned Julius Berger. They are investigating, and they have sanctioned them. They don't know the details of the sanction, but their Punch is following up. They're speaking to Lagos State. They're speaking to Julius Berger. Now, Julius Berger has a training program that will be implemented for all Julius Berger staff, particularly those involved in loading and offloading activities to reinforce safety protocols and practices.
Okay. All right, Daily Sun. Major headline, Tinubu, Atiku, Obi woo Trump after victory. He should bring the world together. President, he should help restore true democracy in Nigeria. I wonder how he's going to do that. Ex-Vice President, world leaders react. Federal government's budget deficit hits 4.53 trillion in 3 months. FRSC raises the alarm over growing road crashes. Says 3,767 killed, 22,373 injured in 9 months. Zenith Bank completes IT upgrade, pledges improved service. Governors orders Mon Lagbaja ex-army chief. Dangote refinery lied, our facility not warehousing substandard petrol. That's according to Pinnacle Oil. 2 killed, others injured in Imo bomb explosion as government abducts Catholic priest. What stories?
Yes, we have this budget deficit. According to the Sun, this report, they said our budget deficit has gone in the second quarter of 2024 has gone from the 3.88 trillion, which was in the preceding quarter, to 4.53 trillion in the second quarter. And this was from the data released by the CBN economic reports for this period under review. Of course, that means that our revenue that we generate is not, from all the sources we generate it, is more than what we spent. So they went on to look at it. They said we generated a revenue of 2.3 trillion in the second quarter. Even though it was an increase, it was 57% improvement from the first quarter, it still fell extremely short of what we spent. And basically, the audio Yibo we are talking is that we get 2 naira and we spend 10 naira. We are borrowing 8 naira to meet level. We want to meet level and balance out, and it's not advisable. let's see what plans we have.
FRSC has revealed that over 3,000 people have died, while 22,373 others were injured between January and September this year as a result of road crashes. So they're saying that, they're looking, going forward, they're looking for like a safe and more holistic approach to reduce road traffic deaths by 2030. Some of the plans that they have is to purchase choppers for patrol operations, and this they will want to do through PPP, that's the private-public partnership. And they're also looking to purchase air ambulances as well as drones. All this will aid, in patrol duties. But they're talking especially of the number of deaths caused by crashes. They said that road traffic crash was the 7th cause of death for human lives globally and the #1 cause of death for youths in Africa. And so youths need to be protected, of course, for the countries to have a future. But it's also appealing to youth to shun drinking while driving or drinking before driving, that all these things, dangerous driving, speeding and all that, all this is what, has increased the numbers, especially this year in traffic traffic crashes, deaths caused by crashes. So please, our youth, be mindful of drinking while driving or drinking before driving, and also the unnecessary speed. Recently, I saw a video of kids just doing, car racing. A friend of mine that lives in Abuja, yes, she says in her area, because it's such a paved, well-tarred road, they do lots of car racing there, and there's always one form of accident or the other. Please, young people,
using the phone while driving. Many
exactly.
Young people,
and they'll completely lose concentration on the driving, and they'll be on their phones.
Hey, unfortunately, that's all we can take on the newspaper reviews. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
When we come back, we continue the show. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right